So hi, in today's session, we are going to do CELPIP speaking task 1 to 4. And first, I'm going to make you aware about the speaking criteria. How are your speakings marked? CELPIP speaking is considered as one of the toughest tasks because mostly people are not able to give the answer which is actually required. Let me tell you that speaking is something which is not at all difficult if you work on these parameters. First, content. Second crucial thing which matters a lot is your vocabulary. Of course, by seeing the question, you need to decide which kind of words you're going to use. And third thing is listenability. I'm going to explain each of these things in detail, but if you will work on them, you will easily score high in speaking. It's not like you have to speak for a very long period of time, but whatever is the time duration, you need to utilize that. If you speak less, it's considered as negative. If let's say if you speak more, you're speaking and it's like beep, the answer ends, it's also considered as negative. So content is number of ideas, how many ideas you give. If the answer duration is 90 seconds, give 2 to 3 ideas at least. Quality of ideas, your ideas should have proper quality and they should be able to correlate it to the question. Organization of ideas. Now some people just keep on giving idea. That's not what the examiners want. They want you to explain the idea, give relevant idea, support the idea. So simple technique which we recommend, RES. What it is, RES means relevant, extended and supported idea. I'm writing here,
Okay.
RES, relevant, extended and supported idea. Also, you can give examples. Sometimes, you will have questions where you're like, oh, I have less ideas. So give them supporting details. Fine. Now coming about vocabulary. Vocabulary is very important. So you need to choose the words accordingly. And you need to make sure you use suitable words and phrases. We also recommend you to use range of words rather than using the same word again and again, because of course these tests are going to check your English. Coming to listenability, now some people speak but they speak in their mouth. That's bad. You should speak it with the correct rhythm, correct pronunciation, correct intonation. So when you're speaking, your voice should be clear. Fine. And let's say if it's a helping, like, part 1 is giving advice, so the tone should be like this. Also, don't do self-correction. If you have made a mistake, it's okay. Don't correct yourself. That's negative. Apart from that, one more thing which I'll recommend you to is to work on grammar and sentence structures. When you give an answer, they're going to definitely see different kinds of grammar structure you're using or not. Compound, complex, passives, conditionals. Variety of sentence structure is something which we require. Last but not the least, please make sure the tone is appropriate. And you also see the length of the answer. If it's 90 seconds, your answer should be of 90 seconds. So when you are doing practice, timed practice I recommend. Again, I'm repeating, timed practice. Don't do a practice where you're just speaking 2 to 3 minutes. If it's 90 seconds, stick yourself to 90 seconds so that, in your mind, you all can always kind of plan, make mind map. Okay.
Okay.
Now coming to the first question, this question is question number 1. Preparation time is just 30 seconds.
Task fulfillment. Task fulfillment,
as I mentioned, it's more related to tone, length of the answer. So tone, of course, if it's a helping one, you can, use the tone appropriately, and you can try to show your emotions in your tone. Fine. And the length of the answer is also important. Now, coming to this question, part 1, we're going to discuss now part 1. Your friend is trying to decide what to study in college. He just wants to make lots of money in life and doesn't care which industry he works in. Which field of study would you recommend for him? So this is more like you're giving advice to somebody. And of course, when you give advice to somebody, your tone is helpful tone. It's not like you're ordering something. So these kinds of things we need to keep in mind. Also, since in this kind of question, you talk to somebody, so you can call them by your name. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Rahul. Hi, Mary. Hi, Mariana. Fine.
Okay.
Next, you have 2 choices. You can say, I would recommend studying, or you can add another sentence. For example, I can say, hi Rahul, I think I can give you some good advice in this area, since I have done studies and I'm a teacher and I've been meeting people and talking to people from different areas, so I would recommend you XYZ for whichever course you recommend. So
mm,
this is how you can start with. I'll also tell you how to add connectors at places to, add more
yeah,
things to your answer. Sometimes we run out of words, so what to do, that we'll discuss too. But first, let's give you some time and let's try this answer. You give it a try. Okay, let's start.
yeah. Hi, Ravi. Since you decided to join the college, and earlier you did your diploma in human resource management, and I would like to recommend you to join human resource management in degree course, since you have very good capabilities of thinking, uh, and mm, how to manage the company or industry. These are all things uh, and when you do this course, there are many things will helpful for your future developments, or when you are going to start the business, or when you want to join any job. This will help you in making lots of money. So that is the reason I advise you to join the course in human resource management degree. And this position, you can work in any industry, like construction industry or industrial industry or IT development or IT industry. Wherever you go there, this course is will help you to found a good job or to start your own business or consultancy companies like that. Yes.
Okay, so coming to your answer, let me first talk about the strength and the weakness of your answer, and then I'll give you some tips, and then I'll also give you the sample answer.
Yeah.
First, strength, I'll start with some strengths. I like the sentence structures. Sentence structures were grammatically correct, and you used some different kinds of verb tenses, so there were range of it. I also like the fact that there were little repetition of phrases, and introduction
Yes.
was good. You explained,
Yeah.
like you extended the idea, you supported the idea with relevant answers. But it was natural also, but at the same time, I feel that first thing, we need to work a lot on fluency. We need to decrease it.
Yeah.
We need to make it more
Mm,
fluent. Also,
mm,
pace will slowly improve. I think maybe it's lack of ideas, a little bit shy you are, so it feels like a little bit you are
yeah.
struggling, and ideas are very limited. So 3 ideas at least we should have. Though I liked the listenability part, I mean the rhythm, intonation, that is all good. So that is not the issue, but fluency is something where we need to definitely work a lot. So
Okay.
talking about tips, if you want, you can jot it down. You can first think, you can speak directly to the person. Hi, Rahul, in this question, always. Because
Okay.
it's going to be somebody you're helping, and you should start with the name. Second thing which I'll recommend you is give at least give 3 suggestions, because the time duration is 90 seconds. So at least you need to give 3. You can give more. Also give practical example, like the way you gave. I liked it. It can be used in the business part. Give practical Example. Third thing which I'll recommend you is using appropriate tone. And I again like the tone also. Fine. Always use an appropriate tone. Fourth thing which I will recommend you is like when you want to start something, now you want to give some sort of suggestion, you can say if I were you. So this has two purpose. Fine. You can write these two phrases. This will be kind of life savior for you. One final idea is blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to help you. You can first jot it down. I'll tell you the advantage of this. So see, if you use if I were you, this kind of thing, so it's a conditional sentence, adds on to your score again. And you can cite an example. If I were in your place, if I were you, I would definitely have chosen medical, because right now in every country, medical industry is on boom. Also, nurses, doctors are getting permanent residency easily, and government is giving them many efforts to support something like this, XYZ. Fine. Anything, any idea like this is one I am giving you. So let me give you a sample answer. Also, vocabulary please increase. You can talk about income also. Income is high, salary is high, decent income. You can earn decent money. Fine. And you can talk about.
Okay.
Let me mention some vocabulary. Vocabulary was very limited. You can talk about layoff, like, you know, in the COVID, so many layoffs were there. Aviation, tourism, hotel industry. Fine.
Okay.
If your friend is female, then you can also pitch some female related jobs like teaching, in cosmetics. Fine. You can talk about income, decent money, because money is very important. Work-life balance also you can talk about, because these are the things that people like when they do a job or when they choose a career. Fine.
Yes.
Layoff is very important because people lose job very easily if the sector is not promising. Fine. And at the end you can give wishes.
Okay.
So let's begin with a sample answer. Hi Ram,
Excuse me, madam.
Sorry.
Yeah, that one final idea is, what was that? Sorry, I was missed. You know, it was disconnected and connected again. Yeah.
I was
if
actually,
I were you, yes. Yeah.
Actually, I was kind of giving you some phrases which you can use to expand the idea. Like maybe you run out of word and you're thinking, we need to avoid that part. To avoid that, I can add a phrase. One final idea is that you can do vocational courses along with the main course. One final idea is to also watch some YouTubers and see different kind of experience or take an experience from them. One final idea is to connect with seniors on LinkedIn and see, are they able to make both their ends meet? Anything. Fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Fine. So let me give you a sample answer. Hi Rahul, I think I can give you some good advice in this area because I've been in same situation you are in right now. I would definitely recommend you studying something you like, and also I will try to recommend you something in the medical industry, like you can either opt for physiotherapy or nursing. I know that it sounds crazy to you because you are somebody who is not very much inclined in medical field, but to be honest, I've been teaching lots of doctors and nurses, and you will be tempted to know that the kind of opportunities in medical field are right now very much high. Firstly, government is supporting doctors, nurses a lot. Secondly, government is also providing them extra additional benefits like payments. Government is also taking care of them, especially in the foreign lands. Government has offered almost 1 lakh people permanent residency. And right now government is in foreign country is also willing to pay all the things if you want to settle down in their land and if you want to serve their country. Apart from that, I if you want to study this particular field, you will be in much higher demand in all the countries, because virtually there are lots of spaces available for doctors and nurses. Apart from that, you can do jobs where layoff is very low, and even you can open a business after making name in this field. Also, last but not the least, I would recommend you to get in touch with some of the seniors. I have lots of students who are pursuing this field, and once you will get in touch with them, they will be able to guide you more. All the best for your future journey, but please don't take any random decision just for money. Please also see that where is the future where you can make strong future. So something like this you can talk about.
Yeah.
So part one is more like giving advice. At least just think about 3 ideas. Now coming to question number 2, talk about a purchase you regret making. Why do you regret it? So this is more like talking about a personal experience. And again, since it's a personal experience, you can think of your personal experience too, because if you have a personal story, it's easy to talk about that. If you don't have, then what? You can always cook the story, because in this kind of exams we want a story where we can judge vocabulary, we can judge grammar, all these parameters. So for this task, I'll give you some tips first, and then we'll practice with you. So firstly, time duration is very less. So even if you'll have 1 idea or 2 ideas, that will work fine. Firstly, quickly decide. Time is just 30 seconds. Quickly decide what story you will tell. So maybe you will talk about some laptop you have bought, maybe you have bought a phone, maybe you have purchased expensive clothes, maybe you have purchased watch of Gucci or Armani, something like that. Maybe you have purchased very expensive goggles, any story. And I think this one is very easy for females, like I do lots of shopping. Second one you can talk about is, if you can't think of a real experience, steal, just lie, fine. Talk about the thing you can talk about. I think we all can talk about electronic gadgets or clothes or expensive branded products, because they're very easy to explain, to pick up those things. Talk about a purchase you regret making. So you've already done it, so this is going to be past. Generally, mostly questions are past related, mostly. Fourth thing which I'll recommend is, please include descriptive details. You understand this?
Descriptive details means?
Describe the thing. Let's say if it's let's say I bought a watch from Amazfit, fine, and it was worth 5,000. I'm gonna explain it. I'm gonna give the description. It was black in color. Cost I'll give, how I purchased, more description of the product.
Okay.
To expand my answer, at the same time to increase fluency. Also, one thing which I told you in the beginning, try to make sure the listener get the feel how you felt. Now of course this is not something good. You purchase something you don't like and you're regretting it, so this should be pretty much visible from your tone. So give it a try.
So this is purchased by me or from some others?
You read it up, you.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. That's right. So I have to tell to whom, ma'am? Just I have to. Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, I have to tell to whom.
Like computer will ask you this is the question, so you're not telling to somebody. You can start with some personal, okay, I purchased XYZ product, or you can start with
Okay,
some
okay,
background information. I'm a
okay.
shopaholic person, and I love buying things, something like this.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, recently, 1 month back, I purchased a Nokia phone from my nearest shop. So earlier, when it was Symbian software, I used to have many different. I was used to purchasing different type of mobiles. Then after many days, again Nokia introduced Android iPhone. Then when I went to the shop to purchase Android mobile phone, then I have seen some different type of mobiles. Um, the Nokia mobile, which was an offer, and it has 40 megapixel camera and 8 GB RAM and 128 GB ROM with the good specification. When I see the thing, I really liked it, and I purchased that one. After that, when I started using this, uh, since the mobile phone camera was 40 megapixel, but when I start taking the photos, it was not you know like I was not happy with that one. My wife was having some other mobile that is only 12 megapixel, but the camera clarity was uh, very good. But when I am using with
Mm-hmm. When I'm using, end the sentence, don't leave it in between.
yeah,
Try
then
to.
mm, so yeah, then I'm I'm not happy with this mobile. So uh, then I'm trying to give it back to the storekeeper, and I will try to buy another phone with some exchange offer if available. Otherwise, I will give back to them, and I want to buy another mobile phone which has good options. And this time I will read some reviews in the internet or in the some blogs, uh, wherever good reviews are there. I will purchase that mobile only. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So coming about the answer, it was a good one. Again, I like the good organization and logical sequence of events. And here the vocabulary was also good, but you just left the answer in between, and long pause was there. And I also felt that again, fluency is something we are definitely going to work a lot in the upcoming sessions, because fluency is very, very important. The phrases were natural, and yes, couple of things I liked. Some collocations also you use. Now let me first talk about vocabulary which you can talk about. Bother. You can say I'm just let me write a minute. You can so you can write about I'm bothered. I'm I am bother. You can write dissatisfied, because if you bought something, you can use this also. I'm not happy means you're dissatisfied. Also, you can even use that I was frustrated, like because it was not working, like you were telling, like you can say I bought this iPhone and I was so much frustrated to know that it's not up to the mark because it's very expensive for me. Because I told you, you need to give some personal emotions, so you can try to show your emotions like this. Fine, I was annoyed, anything like this. It was a nightmare for me, डरावना सपना था मेरे लिए, something like this. Fine. So let me give you a sample answer. I'm a shopaholic person and I love to buy things. I usually avoid buying expensive things because I feel when you buy expensive things, it's more like a burden to you. But recently, I bought goggles from Armani. My brother was behind my back that you should buy expensive and branded products because it will suit your personality. And he just told me that just check the reviews online, check some bloggers and stylists how they dress up, and you should buy these goggles. We went to Chandigarh specially just to buy these goggles just 1 week before, and I have saved a lot of money for other purposes. But he told me you can earn money again, just buy the goggles because it's very much helpful whenever you go out. It looks good if you're buying branded products because most of your friends buy branded products and you buy cheap products. I bought the goggles on his suggestion, as well as I checked couple of bloggers and lots of reviews. But after buying the product, I felt like it's not up to the mark because same products I can get at a lower rate if it's not branded. Secondly, the color of the goggles is not something that suits all the clothes, so I rarely use it. Thirdly, I was quite annoyed to know that the goggles are something, if you use a lot in sunlight, it loses color. So the color is also fading at a very high rate. When I talked to the company, they told me that you have chosen this color and that's why it's fading. It was earlier okay. So I was little bit shocked to see that this big company is behaving like this after buying the product. I also check lots of hacks online to make it better, but I think it's not working, and I'm just right now feeling bad that I should have invested the money in the right direction instead of listening to my brother. So like this, you can, use more things, more description, more descriptive details. Now coming to part 3, you should always try to extend your answers, see, in the speaking to improve your fluency. So my agenda of the sessions is to first work on your fluency part. So let's come to part number 3. This is this question. This question is a little bit different now. It's not related to something which you know. It's more like what you can see. Have a look. So you'll get the picture. You have to describe the scene. Practice preparation time is 30 seconds. Speaking is 67 seconds. We call it describing a scene. I would like you to give it a try. Look at an illustration and describe what is happening. So what is happening according to you? Hello? You're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, I was talking. Yeah.
Okay. So what is happening?
Yes. There is one house and fire is happening. Some fire is happened there, and fire engine came, and they are trying to hold the means, put the water with fire engine, and beside there is one park. Children are playing. So this is there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I need to describe this one, right?
Yes, you need to describe the picture.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Yeah. In the picture, on the left hand side, there is one house, and from there, due to shock or whatever, due to some shock or whatever it may be, some fire is happened, and one fire engine came, to shut off the fire, and beside of that, some children are playing in the park, and there is one small children. He is also trying, not children, yeah. And there is one fireman. He is trying to shut off the fire. There is one another fireman who is trying, to house roof, and trying to get the man who is there in the roof.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So few things you have repeated like fire
Yeah.
anytime. So don't repeat. Start with a
Yes. Yes.
general statement. First, you can start with any general statement, like there's a picture of house in front of me. Any kind of general statement you can start with. If it's a picture of park, there's a beautiful picture of park in front of me. Start with some sort of generic statement. Then I'll say, then focus on details rather than just talking about the details. Just imagine you have a friend who can't see the picture. So
Okay.
first, you're gonna tell na what you can see.
Yeah.
You can just jot it down on paper if you want. Third thing which I'll recommend you is use again descriptive words. Please try to give more description. You can even say, talk about colors, what you can see in the background, foreground. So use descriptive details. Give more description to
Yeah.
expand your answer. Don't just say a line and it's done.
Mm.
Okay, is it clear? So use descriptive
Yes.
details.
Yes. Yeah.
Fourth thing which I'll recommend you is and it up. Like most answers I don't get to know it's an end or it's gonna continue. So end with a wrap up.
Okay.
Give a conclusion. Don't leave it like hanging.
Okay.
And emotions you can always include. She's enjoying. He's happy. See him. He looks confused.
Yeah.
Always. So just write it down. The key strategies, and then we're gonna talk about some vocabulary.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the basic vocabulary. We can see what? Fire truck. This is the fire truck.
Yes.
Fine. We can see this
Yeah.
is the fire hydrant.
Yes.
We call this fire hydrant. We call this fire truck. Then what we can see, these kids are enjoying. He is doing a slide. He's doing cycling. There's a kind of pet also in the picture. We can also see a slide. We can see ladder. You call this ladder.
Ladder.
Tree you can see. Fine. You can talk about the roof. He's at the roof. Fine. What else you can see? This is the fireman. You can talk about him also. Fine. So all these things you can even see that he's desperately trying to help him. Okay. So you can start with some basic picture. There is an interesting picture of a house which is on fire in front of me. A man is standing on the roof of the house. A fire truck has arrived at the scene, and two firemen are desperately trying to save the man who looks confused. One fireman is trying to connect a hose to the fire hydrant, and the other one is climbing a ladder to the roof. In the background, we can see lots of things. First of all, several kids are enjoying. They're playing with one another. One kid is also sliding down the slide. One kid is bicycling. And we can also see the weather is good. And a girl is playing with her kind of toy. Apart from that, a dog is sitting in front of the slide and he's also happy. Lastly, we can see that blue sky is there in the background. So like this, you can give the background information, explain the basic things. Start with a generic statement. In this picture, there's a dash in front of me. I'm writing this, you can jot it down and you can use it for all the picture. In this picture, comma, dash, dash, dash. In this picture, there are dash. There is a beautiful, if it's a beautiful picture, you can use as a beautiful picture of garden or something in front of me. So these kind of lines you can use. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Any doubts?
No.
Okay, let's come to part 4, which is a little bit more tricky. Because here You will have to make predictions, and you have to, of course, when you make predictions, think little bit more. You have to use your imagination. You have to ask yourself what actions might people do next. Like, what can he do? He can just go at the top and try to save. He can jump off. Some more actions which you feel people can do, and you have to look at the surroundings more. Just keep it simple. Don't make very complex predictions, because fluency is very important. Okay. So think.
There is a picture of one beautiful house in front of me. Uh, yeah. Okay, start. There is a picture of a beautiful house in front of me. And the fireman is going to, one of fireman is going to save the person who was in confused position. Then another fireman will shut off the fire with fire hydrant. And children are playing. No, ma'am, not coming into the mind.
Think again. Give it a try. Just keep simple answer. Obvious predictions.
Future, what is going to happen? That is the right after this. Yeah.
See, again, I'm going to write few lines. You can just jot it down and start your answer with this line. This will work with all the questions. There are a few things that will definitely happen. So you can start with this. Just jot it down in your notebook. You can always start with this. Okay?
Yeah.
So what obvious things you will definitely happen? I think I wrote the wrong spelling, just to have it's a double P, and I was just typing it fastly. So I think what will happen?
He will save the person who is there in the roof.
Who's there at the roof? Yeah.
Who's there at the roof.
Okay, and also the fireman on the ground, what will he do? He will start spraying the water on the fire now. As soon as it's not connected yet. So once the fireman on the ground finished connecting the hose to the fire hydrant, he will start spraying water on the fire. Fine, then he might run into the house, and maybe there are people inside. He will try to save them. The fireman on the ladder will climb to the roof of the house, as we can see this, and will save the guy who's in danger. So in danger, you use this. This is a collocation, will give you good score. So then the guy can't jump down. See, he can't jump down because it's a 2-story, and he will break his legs if he does. You can say like this also, and you can say like this also. The guy is the person who is wearing blue, like purple t-shirt, will try to jump, but the person on the ladder will save him like this. Okay.
Yes.
Also, you can see the kids. The kids will probably come closer and will try to see what is happening, and they might get surprised, and they might get scared. Fine. The animal, he can also go here and there because he will get scared to see the fire.
Yes.
Fine. In the end, you can
Yeah.
say everyone will be safe and sound because of firemen, because it's
Fireman,
firemen,
fire engine or
yeah,
fireman. Yeah.
something like this. Basic things you can talk about.
Yeah.
And then they will
That's
call
right.
the police to make sure that the case can be registered, and anything you can talk about. Basic things, just keep it simple.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now coming to next question, part 5. Read the question first.
I think today it's okay.